So Roy Cooper is running for U.S. Senate. This is a very big deal for North Carolina and our representation in Washington, but can he pull it off, and what does it mean for our state? Roy Cooper is hands down the strongest recruit the Democrats could find for this race. He has almost universal name recognition all over North Carolina, and in poll after poll after poll, he's still found very popular with voters all over the state. People just like the guy. That's one of the reasons why Roy Cooper has literally never lost an election. He served in the state Senate back in the 90s, and he first ran statewide in 2000 for North Carolina's Attorney General. And he spent 16 consecutive years, 4 terms, as North Carolina's Attorney General. In 2012, the Republicans didn't even bother running an opponent against him. Then he won 2 consecutive terms as governor in 2016 and 2020, both in years when Trump was also on the ticket. In the history of North Carolina politics, only one incumbent governor has lost re-election, and that was Pat McCrory in 2016, both because Roy Cooper was a very strong challenger and because Pat McCrory was a weak failure. All of this is just to say Roy's got the sauce. Tom Tillis, who currently holds the Senate seat, is not running for re-election because even as conservative as Tom Tillis is, even he is not conservative enough for today's GOP. Just a few years ago, the state Republican Party here in North Carolina censured Tillis for voting merely to recognize same-sex and interracial marriages. And I guess that was just too far. And guess who the chairman of North Carolina's state Republican Party was when they censured Tillis? None other than Mike Whatley. Who? People who don't obsessively follow politics, which is most people, have no idea who Mike Whatley is. But Whatley is this guy who spent almost his entire working career inside the Republican Party as a campaigns guy. He ran the North Carolina State Republican Party and then was promoted by Trump to run the National Republican Party. And now Trump has ordered that Whatley will be the Republican opponent to go up against Roy Cooper. That's how they do business. Personally, I was actually very surprised that Whatley was the choice. There are definitely stronger candidates out there, so either they were too scared to go up against Roy Cooper, or they got shoved out of the way for Whatley. Who knows which. Whatley is also still in hot water with the MAGA grassroots because he may have rigged his own election for party chairman back in 2023, and people have not forgotten about that. So all this means that the U.S. Senate race probably leans a little towards Cooper. However, some of the Democrats out there are probably thinking that with Roy Cooper running, this thing is in the bag, but they are wrong about that. Whatley is very smart and has a lot of money. This is going to be a very competitive, very tough race that will probably come down to just a couple of points. The North Carolina Democrats have not won a U.S. Senate race since 2008, and Roy Cooper has never lost an election at all. So one of those track records is going to come to an end next year. We get to find out which one.